Zack Smith is a legal fellow at the Meese Foundation for the Legal Judicial Studies at the Heritage Foundation, here to talk more about Bill Barr and everything that went on. Zach, welcome back to the program.
Hey, Steve. Thanks so much for having me on this morning. I really appreciate it.
Good to have you here. So, was there anything of value out of yesterday's hearing? I mean, the point is this. Every time Bill Barr tried to answer a question, they stepped on him and said, I reclaim my time. Apparently that was the catchphrase for yesterday. I reclaim my time.
Right.
Why would you reclaim your time? You just asked the man a question. He's trying to answer your question. Why would you reclaim time? Because he's answering a question. Because the questions they kept posing, they didn't really want answers to. Why are they so afraid of Bill Barr? Which clearly they are, because if they weren't afraid of Bill Barr, they'd actually let him answer the questions.
Well, in fact, Bill Barr said that at one point yesterday during the hearing. He said, look, I thought this was a hearing, and I, as the witness, that I was supposed to be heard. And, you know, unfortunately, Steve, it really was a shameful performance all around because it's exactly what you said. A lot of kind of inflammatory comments were made, bombs thrown by Democratic committee members, and the Attorney General really wasn't given a full, fair opportunity to respond to those. But, you know, Bill Barr, he's a pro at this stuff. He didn't get, he didn't really get taken aback by any of the questions. And, in fact, at a couple of points, very effectively pushed back. You know, he, as a good law enforcement guy, he dealt with facts, figures, and the law, and was able to pretty effectively push forward his views and his agenda and show that he is committed to restoring the rule of law in our country.
Extremely important, and that's right. But he didn't get a full hearing. He didn't even get a partial fair hearing, honestly.
Right.
I mean, the only time he got a permission to speak is when the Republicans said, hey, I'll yield my time, go ahead, for the most part. I mean, other than that, he was under attack all day. But Jerry Nadler proving once again what an ineffectual chairman he is. I mean, they've had weeks to prepare. They thought they were going to take Bill Barr down, and they were going to make him look like a fool in front of the nation. And really, there's nothing of value that comes out of this.
Right. No, I think that's exactly right. And, you know, Bill Barr really focused on two things. He said, look, there are two separate law enforcement issues that are kind of the order of the day. You have the rioting in places like Portland, and then you also have the soaring crime rates in other cities like Chicago, New York. And so Bill Barr said, look, in Portland, we don't have federal stormtroopers, as some folks have referred to them. We have federal law enforcement officers who are appropriately defending federal property and defending themselves when their lives and their safety is put at risk. And so it's a very small force of federal officers protecting a federal courthouse and a couple of other federal buildings in Portland. And that's not only appropriate, that's their duty to do that. And then he said, look, we also have soaring crime rates in these other cities, and the Department of Justice is, again, appropriately partnering with state and local law enforcement officers to try to get the crime wave under control.
Exactly right, and as we should. I mean, at what point, Bill Barr says, is it appropriate? When is it okay to burn down the federal courthouse? And the answer is it's
never.
Not. And so
never.
Here's the thing. You know, I keep reading stories of businesses that are going permanently dark in Minneapolis, in Seattle, in Portland. The crime rate in Chicago continues to run unopposed, basically. Minneapolis right now in July has reached its annual crime statistics, which means crime in Minneapolis is off the charts. Portland being burned every single day. Who would want to live in Portland, Oregon, or a business? Who would want a business there? And the answer is nobody. I don't even know if the Democrats would vote for this, would they?
Well, you know, Bill Barr really made a point to show that he is committed to restoring law and order and administering justice impartially for everyone.